we are talking about karma yoga, the way in which we should be acting in our everyday life. So this will give us a lot of pointers as to how we can improve our lives. Shloka number 17. Shloka number 17 and 18 are the moksha swarupam, or they are the jivan mukta lakshana. So when can we leave karma yoga? When can we leave one's own duties? That is the question that is being answered in these two shlokas. When can I move from karma yoga? When does a one person does not have duties? यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते. So here he says, Yah, who, tu is but, Atmaratihi, the one who rejoices. Three words he is going to give. So one first word is Atmaratihi, the one who will rejoice in his own self. Eva, certainly, Syat, is the person who rejoices in his himself. Atmatriptaha, so he is self-satisfied. Atmatriptaha, that is the second word. Cha, and Manavaha, that human being. Atmani eva cha santushtaha. Atmani means in the self. Eva, certainly. Cha, and santushtaha, he is satisfied. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Tasya, for him, his karyam, duty, na vidyate, it does not exist. What is he talking about? Three qualities. Atmaratihi, that is, what does it mean? The one who takes pleasure in his own Atma. That means what? He is not looking for other sensory objects or external pleasures to make himself happy. All the pleasures are coming from himself. He does not need to go out and entertain himself. He does not need to go and eat great food. He does not need like people to say good things about him. All the pleasure that normal human beings get, he is getting from himself. Just by being with himself, he is getting the pleasure. Ratihi means the pleasure. The pleasure is usually associated with external things. But in this case, the pleasure he is saying is coming from his own self. Atmaratihi. Atmatriptaha. The one who is content in himself, about himself. Whether I am, what, am I fat, am I thin, am I tall, am I short, am I bad, am I good, all that, he is content in himself. The way he is content. And santushtaha, that is, he is content with all the situations in life. Whatever situation has come, whatever he is right now, in what situation he is in, he is content about it. If you have these three qualities, he says, then this person will not have duty. So you will have duty till you are having all these things. If you are not able to have these qualities, till then you will have to do your duty. For Buddha, when after he renounced, he became enlightened. So people kept pressurizing, he must come back and he must take this kingdom. So he said, see, why are you asking me to take this kingdom? The king is not always happy. The servant always is not unhappy. If you are telling me that I have to take up this kingdom for happiness, if I have it already, why should I take up this kingdom? So he didn't find any happiness or pleasure ruling the kingdom, and he didn't derive anything because he was already happy, he was already enlightened. So if you are like that, then the duties are not needed for you. General translation, those who rejoice in the self, for illuminated and fully satisfied in the self, for them there is no duty. Shloka number 18. Naiva tasya krite nartah na krite neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschidartau yapashrayah. Okay, so here na eva tasya. Na, not eva, indeed tasya, his kritena, the discharge of the duties. He is telling, by the discharge of the duties, Artha, gain. What is he saying? Naiva tasya kritenartha. He does not gain anything by doing any duty. Na krite neha kaschana. Na krite means not do. Akritena. Na akritena. That means not by the discharge of any duty. Iha kaschana. He does not lose or he does not gain anything. Even by not doing also there is no difference. Nachasya sarvabhuteshu. Never cha and asya of that person. Sarvabhuteshu of all living beings. Kaschidatta vyapashrayaha. Vyapashrayaha meaning he does not depend on anybody for any gain. So he is talking again about three qualities. The jnani, by doing something, he doesn't gain anything. By not doing anything, he doesn't lose anything. And he does not depend on anybody selfishly for anything, for any gain. The person, that means what? The jnani does not have any resistance to prarabdha. Prarabdha is whatever comes to you in your life, he does not resist it. That is called the jnani. So he is not resisting anything. And he has this dhrida nishchayam of the God, yogakshemam vahamyaham, where God promises, I will take care of you. He has got the dhrida nishchaya in that. And the jnani, does he need anything for entertainment? We saw in the previous shloka, he does not need. Does he need to go to heaven? Is he praying for that? No, he is not praying for that. In a very spiritual sense, the jnani does not need to do anything for others also. Because why? Because he doesn't see others different from himself. So he is, everybody is one. So that way, if you are a jnani, then if you are ajnan, if you are not got the enlightenment, of course you have to do. But if you are a jnani, when you see others as the same as you, then that jnani doesn't have any duty. So there is one story like this. How does the jnani think? So once there was a jnani, and one devata approached him, and she said, I have come to you. Usually I don't show, I don't give appearance. Once I give the appearance, I have to grant them a boon. So you can ask for anything you want. So the jnani said, I am jnani. I mean, I don't need anything. I don't need anything in life. So nothing. You can just go. She said, no, no, no. If I've given the appearance, then I have to give you something. Tell me what I have to do. So the jnani thought for a while, and then he said, okay, I've got this big, like a big wound in my right leg. Can you put it on the left leg? So that is how the jnani will think. He doesn't want that wound to go away. He says, okay, let me, if you have to do something for me, then put it on my left leg and go from my right. So the jnani is a person who will never ask for anything. That will be their way of thinking. That, oh, somebody has come, oh, good opportunity has come, let me ask something. No, I don't want anything. That much of dhrida nishchaya the jnani will. Such self-realized souls have nothing to gain or lose, either in discharging their duties or in renouncing their duties. Nor do they need to depend on other living beings to fulfill their self-interest. In Shloka number 19, Krishna is closing this and he will go to a slightly different topic in Karma Yoga, but slightly different topic. तस्वादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पुरुषः. Again he is going to Karma Yoga only. He is telling to Arjuna, after talking about jnana again, now these two slokas he is talking about the person who has the jnana, crossed the karma part. Now do your duty, Arjuna, giving again three qualities. Asaktaha, be unattached when you are doing. So again attitude will come here. So asaktaha, do your duty unattached. Satatam, do your duty constantly. And samachara, do your duty perfectly and do it completely. So again this is a summary of the Karma Yoga part. Two shlokas he talked about the jnana. And again, there will be questions in our mind. We are going to come to that. The why, the karma and jnana, he is talking about jnana. Then what should I do? Why did he say in the Vedas were wrong in the second chapter? Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Then he said, oh, follow the Vedas. So all that may be there in the mind. We will address that in the coming shlokas. So here what is he saying? Tasmad asaktam satataha. Tasmad, therefore. So conclusion. Asaktaha, without attachment. Satatam, constantly. Karyam karma samachara. Karyam is duty, karma is action. Samachara, perform well. Asaktaha, unattached. He acharam, karma. He certainly, acharam is performing, karma is work. Param is the supreme, apnoti will attain, purushaha. So that person will attain the highest. We will attain the highest, supreme. So again the question is, can I go from karma yoga to directly to moksha? The technical answer is no. No, karma yoga, then jnana yoga, then moksha. Is the proper answer. So the general translation is, therefore, giving up attachment, perform actions as a matter of duty. For by working without being attached to the fruits, one attains the supreme. Shloka number 20. Again, Krishna is going to a hypothetical question by Arjuna. So what if Arjuna said, you are telling me to do the duty, thinking that I am an ajnani. You keep telling me, do this war, do this war. You should not leave your duty. Okay, you think that I am an ajnani. But what if I am a jnani? How do you know? If I am a jnani, then I don't need to do this war. So I can just be without doing this war. I will. So Krishna has another answer for it. So he tackles this with something known as Loka Sangraham. Loka Sangraham means working for the welfare of others, not generally working. If I do something in the charity, that is not got Loka Sangraham. Loka Sangraham is when a jnani works for the welfare of the people. When the jnani has not retired and he is in the daily, doing the daily duties, after he has attained the jnana, is called Loka Sangraham. So Krishna is going to say that, okay, even assuming Arjuna that you have attained jnana, okay, you did your karma, you attained jnana. As far as I know, you are only in karma yoga stage. I can assess you. Okay, even if my analysis is wrong, you have attained jnana. Even then, you have to do this war for the sake of Loka Sangraham. And he is going to give some example of Janaka and some other people. So you have to do this, and this Loka Sangraham topic is there from shlokas 20 to 29. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि. So karmana, by the performance of the prescribed duties, karmanaiva eva only, he samsiddhim. Certainly, samsiddhim means perfection. Astitaha. Astitaha means they attain. Who attain? Janakadayaha. Janaka and a few more people. He didn't mention. But some other people, Kaikeyi's father, Ashwapati, is also one of the people who attained jnana, and he was being a king. So Janakadayaha. So King Janaka, who is the father of Sita, we all know. So Janakadayaha, Loka Sangrahamevapi. Loka Sangraham means for the welfare of the masses. Eva api. Also, Sampashyan. Considering that Kartum arhasi. Kartum means to perform. Arhasi means you should. So what is he saying? That by performing their prescribed duties, Janaka and others attained perfection. You should also perform your work to set an example for the good of the world. The question comes, did Janaka attain perfection only after he did the duties? Yes and no. Janaka did his duties, he did Karma Yoga first, then he got Jnana. Then he got Jnana, after that he continued to be the king. He didn't go as a sannyasi. Why did he do that? For the welfare of other people. So the question that might come is, we saw if Arjuna says, now I am a jnani, so then why should I do my duty? Even if you are a jnani, then your prarabdha is prompting you to do this for the welfare of all. That is what is Krishna's answer. Therefore, you must do your duty. And what if Arjuna says that I do not wish to accept my prarabdha? I am now a jnani. I don't care about my prarabdha. Then Krishna's answer is what? If you are resisting the prarabdha, you are not a jnani. He will tackle Arjuna in several different ways. He's saying that you cannot run away from your prarabdha now, which is, even if you are a jnani, you have to do this work. Basically, Krishna wants to say you have to do this work. If you are a jnani or a jnani, it doesn't matter. So then we will go into some more things about this Loka Sangraha in the coming shlokas, but just the beginning shloka. So the king Janaka story, Janaka was a big jnani. Ashtavakra was his guru. Ashtavakra meaning he has 8 deformities. Ashtavakra was but a very big jnani. So what happened is for Ashtavakra, when Ashtavakra was in the womb, his father was talking about this Atma Tattva, and this Ashtavakra made a small sound, like that. So this father got angry and said, are you telling that what I am telling is wrong? And he cursed Ashtavakra to have the 8 deformities. But then Ashtavakra became a great jnani anyway, and then Janaka was the disciple of him. So at one point, all the disciples, other disciples were very jealous about Janaka because they said, how can you call Janaka a big jnani? Because he is in the palace, he has so many wives. Look at the lavish living he is doing. When you look at him, can you say that he is a big jnani? But you keep telling that he is a big jnani. So to prove this, what happened is one day everybody was in the palace and the servant came and announced that the Mithila is burning, it is on fire. But Janaka did not have any reaction. And he said, even if Mithila burns, nothing of me burns. I have no attachment to anything here. And all the other students who were there, they ran to get their small belongings. They thought it will be caught in fire, the monkeys will take it away and all that. So they ran to collect it. So then Ashtavakra pointed out the difference. See how unperturbed he was, even when his whole kingdom, he did all his duties, he instructed people to be brought to safety and everything, but he was unperturbed by what had happened. So that he pointed out, Ashtavakra said, see, this is the quality of the jnani. He doesn't go and collect his things and run for his life. He remains unperturbed. And see, you people, even though you are sannyasis, you went and collected your small little 1 or 2 possessions that you had. So this makes the difference between the jnani and the ajnani. That is a famous story that they will say about King Janaka. Next, shloka 21. यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. So, yatyat, whatever acharati shreshtaha. Acharati means does. Shreshtaha means the best of people. Tat, that alone, eva, certainly. Itaraha is the common man. Janaha, people, common people. Sa yat pramanam kurute. So whichever pramanam means, they will hold it as a standard. Kurute, they will perform. Lokas tadanu vartate. Anuvartate is pursue. In the world, they will pursue. So whatever actions great persons perform, common people will follow. Whatever standards they set, all the world pursues. So you have to be an example. If you are in a position, then you have to be an example. Why should we do Loka Sangraham? That is the question. So if the goal of our life is divided into two things, that is Shreyas and Preyas. We saw that it is talked about in the Kathopanishad, the dialogue between Nachiketas and Yamadharmaraja. So he talked about the Shreyas and Preyas. Shreyas is something that will give you, it is the lasting happiness. It is the best. It is example going after moksha is Shreyas. So what is prayers? Going after the happiness or the artha or the momentary pleasures is called prayers. It is short-lived. So Shreyas and prayers are the two things, and dharma is common to both. How dharma is common to both? It is because if you have to enjoy Shreyas, okay, I can understand. If I'm going in the path of moksha, I must follow dharma. But why for prayers I must follow dharma? Because if you do not, like how in the society, if you do not follow the law, you cannot be happy, right? Somebody will come and arrest you. If you are going to say, okay, I don't care, I will steal from others, then you will be in jail. You will not be able to live happily. Similarly, if you do not follow the dharma, which is the law of the religion, you cannot get happiness. Because dharma will only give you that punyam. The punyam will get converted to what good comes in your life. So if you want good to come in your life, you must follow this dharma. Then this also answers the question, Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Don't be swayed by the words of the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas. This is what Krishna told in chapter 2. Then now Krishna is telling, follow the Vedas. In that Yajna is told, God exists in the Vedas. All this he is also telling. So what is the answer? First, you have to do dharma. If you want, you can get the good things lawfully. That is allowed. You do that in the proper dharmic way, you can get whatever you want. It is allowed. But what Krishna wants to say in chapter 2 is that is only one phase. Don't get hung up in that. Don't think that going to heaven is the highest. After you can pray, God, keep me in good condition because I want to go to the path of moksha. A laborer will not think about going towards path of moksha. Why? He has to feed himself. He has to feed his family. He will only think about what I can earn today. He will not be inclined to go in the path of this jnana and moksha. If you tell him, he will not care. If your needs are met, by using dharma, you can get your needs to be met. And you can then say, okay, my needs are met. I have food to eat. I have house to live. I have basic necessities met. I am happy. I am content. Then you will pursue the path of moksha. That is the point there. That get whatever is necessary, but to the limit. Don't be stuck up to it. Once you get one house, I want another house. Don't go like that. Then you pursue the path of moksha. So that is why you must do dharma. If you want, you can get what you want. And then from that, leave it and then go in the path of moksha. So that is the answer to that question. So now this dharma itself, how do I decide which is dharma or which is not dharma? So definitely my own mind, I know that there are many faults in the mind of human beings. I have raga and dvesha, which is the aversion and the passion and all that. So I cannot decide. So how is the dharma decided and how is it being followed? There are three ways to do it. One is the Shruti or the Vedas we talk about. So the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas are laying out the laws by lawful means of getting what you want. So that can be followed, not the Upanishads. Now Upanishads are only talking about the liberation. So the Shruti will talk about the Dharma part and Smriti, which means the whatever is the dharma has been talked about by all the rishis. All that has been taken, and the form of epics like Mahabharata, Ramayana, everything, they are called smritis. Mahabharata is called Panchamo Veda. It is considered to be the fifth Veda because it talks about both the Karma Kanda, the Dharma part. It also talks about liberation. So it's a Smriti. So it has been talked about by Rishis. And the third way in which you can follow is the example that Krishna is giving is Shishtacharaha. Shishta meaning the person who is learned, the person who has no knowledge of the Vedas and the Upanishads, and the conduct of him. If he does something, others will learn from him. So this is what he talks to Arjuna and says, you be the Shishtachara. You have to set an example for others. And Shishtachara, every day, if you are Jnani or not, we are Shishtacharas to others around us, especially our kids. So whatever we do, they are going to do. We don't have to teach them. If we are lazy, we get up late, we watch TV, that is going to be seen by them. This is what we can learn from this shloka is that we have to set a good example for others around us. So the father, mother, the teacher, they are all the Shishtacharas and they will be responsible for the people around them. So this is what the shloka is about. So whatever actions great people perform, common people will follow. Whatever standards they set, all others would also pursue the same. न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यम् वर्त एव च कर्मणि. So here he says, Name Parthasti Kartavyam. Name, I do not have Partha or Arjuna. Asti is Kartavyam. I do not have duty. Trishu Lokeshu Kinchana. Trishu Lokeshu. Not in this world, in all the three worlds. Kinchana. Not even slightest. Any. Kinchana. Any. Na Anavaptam and Avaptavyam. So Avaptavyam meaning nothing needs to be gained by me. Anavaptam means I have not gained anything. I have not gained anything. Why? Because I have everything. I don't need to attain anything. So generally the translation is given as to be attained. In essence, it means to say that I have not gained anything. Vartate, still what am I doing? I am engaged. Eva cha karmani. I am engaged in these duties. See, so he gives an example of himself doing Loka Sangraham and he says that he has no duty, not only in this world, but in these three worlds. And there is nothing to be attained or gained by me. And even though I am engaged in all the duties, only through karma you can attain. Even though I do not have to attain, I still do this karma. So general translation is, there is no duty for me to do in all these three worlds, nor do I have anything to gain or attain. Yet I am engaged in the prescribed duties. Now, next question by Arjuna will be, okay, Krishna, you also don't do. Let's both go. So, if that question comes, then next answer is coming in the next shloka. Yadi hyahyam navatteyam chatu karmanyatandritaha मम वत्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. So he says, Yadi hi aham na vatteyam. Vatteyam means engaged. Yadi aham, if I, aham, do not engage, jatu karmani atandritaha. Atandritaha means carefully. I have to do the duties. Jatu karmani. Ever, all the time. Karmani, I have to do it. Mama vatma meaning my path. Anuvartante will follow. Others will follow. Manushyaha, all the men. Partha, Arjuna, Sarvashaha, in all respects. For if I did not carefully perform the prescribed duties, O Arjuna, all men would follow my path in all respects. So if I didn't know to, what will happen? People will take me as an example and they will follow me. So I have to set an example. I have to be the Shishtachara that I am talking about. Then he goes on to say the effects, the consequences. He just told Arjuna that, okay, I cannot because I have to set an example. But what exact consequences will happen? God doesn't do the duty, he is telling in the shloka, shloka number 24. उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोकाः न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहं संकरस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि मा प्रजाः. So what he says is that Utside meaning it will perish, ime lokaha, all these lokas will perish. Na kuryam, if I do not perform karma chet, if I do not do these duties, aham sankarasya. Shankara meaning different. Sankara meaning totally opposite of that. Shankara means Mangala. Sankara, with the sa meaning confusion. Sankarasya cha kartasyam. I will be responsible for all the confusion in the world. Upahanyami mam prajaha. Upahanyam meaning it will destroy imaha, all these prajaha, living entities. Imagine if one person, if you are there in the house, you don't cook, that is okay. But imagine if the God doesn't do the duty, the worlds will be perishing because everything has to run in order. The sun has to rise, it has to set, all these things has to happen. And if it doesn't happen in the order, then it will lead to destruction of all the living beings. So he says, if I cease to perform the prescribed actions, all these worlds would perish. I would be responsible for the confusion that would prevail and would thereby destroy the peace of the human race. Saktah karmanya vidvamsah yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidvams tatha saktah chikishurloka sangraham. So here he is talking about just like the Ajnanis, what will they do? They will do the things with attachment. But the Jnanis should do without attachment. And then that will set an example. This is very straightforward. Saktaha, meaning attached karmani avidvamsaha. Avidvamsaha is the people who are ignorant. So these people, how they are doing their duty? They are doing the duty attached. They want results. Yata kurvanti bharata. As they kurvanti, they act bharata, the Arjuna. Kuryat vidvan. Vidvan, what does he do? Vidvan is this wise person. Avidvan is the person who is ignorant. So vidvan tata asaktaha. So the vidvan will do his duty unattached. For what he will do? Chikirshu loka sangraham. He wishes, chikirshuhu meaning wishing, loka sangraham. He works for the welfare of all the beings. So this is what. So in this shloka, it is just the Ajnani acts with attachment, but the Jnani should act without attachment. Also what? Doing what? Doing welfare of the people. And the general translation, as the ignorant people perform their duties with attachment to the results, O Arjuna, so should the wise act without attachment for the sake of leading people on the right path.